with the Rise, with the Pantheon ult to try to support that. And it is going to be Aurora for Castle, so going for the counter pick here against Impact in the top lane.
It really appears like Ido and DSG love empowering Castle. Really needs to play off of Prio and get consistent push with Ezreal having his passive stacked up, but there's just too much action in the top lane to look away.
Nice sidestep there from Castle. Dodges everything. The wall up and the boulder toss both miss, which means Impact won't get the reset on it either. And down to the bot lane, they are scrapping heavily as well. Huhi getting incredibly low. Has to flash potentially. Does use the heal. It's going to be okay. And Rahel is just rocking through Lions and Sajed. The bubble does land. Sajed is incredibly low. He pops the barrier. He has got a flash out of there as well. All 4 summoners down for Sajed and Lions.
Big confidence there by Rahel, knowing he was going to win the extended trade. Once he get 5 stacks on that Ezreal passive, he just clicked forward. They burned all 4 summoner spells from the bot lane, only spent 2 of their own, and Colby gets a solo kill!
Colby gets a solo kill. The observers can't keep up with the action. There's fighting everywhere right now. DSG, at the end of the day, walk away with the advantage. They grab the first blood for their Rise, and Castle is pushing. He's going to go between worlds. Impact, he predicts the flash! Side. Either that or it was just a really quick reaction, but we're back to live. Huhi low again as well. They have the push, though. Rahel pops barrier. Sajed is very low, but in comes Kryra and Call Me. Trying to catch up here. Can't quite get in range as Hambach played bodyguard for long enough.
In program, Rawmore did not give me a jersey because I said I considered putting his team 8th, even though I did not put them 8th. I put them 5th.
Didn't like the consideration.
Yeah.
I got some free boba. It was
like
delicious.
It's like a thought crime. Like, I thought we were over that. It's not
what's that movie? There was like that idea, like there's the thought police.
1984.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kryra here getting chased down, has his flash. Might have to actually use it, trying to run down towards that bot side. Get a flash of the wall. Hombach flashes to follow. Is going to be able to knock him down. Call Me on the way. The bubble does land across Huhi, who is put very, very low. Huhi has his flash. Won't have to use it, though, as Call Me will be sent retreating. Hombach looking once more. Still does have the ultimate. Can't quite get in range to find it, but Darkwing's making the roam, has the shockwave available, and there's no flash on Call Me. He's going to try to run for it, but can he get back to the tower to survive? One more on it, but the level up saves Call Me, and now the tower shots are going to push Darkwing's back. Call Me gets the level up off of the minion dying to the tower there, and it saves him.
Calculated, surely. Call Me never misses those. And now Kryra's back on the map, trying to get the move speed and maybe kill Darkwings.
They're looking. Huhi, though, is going to be here, and Hombach's coming in. Going to look for Call Me. Takes him down. A second kill there for Hombach.
He didn't get the level up.
Yep.
Then he takes a church shot, and you think Call Me's just fine, but then they get baited with the re-engage once Kryra tries to chase him down. This bottom lane, though, still going in the side.
TP gets nothing for it, and they're going to lose the dragon anyway.
Yeah, I think I understand the idea of this play. There's been a fair amount of early swap.
Ezreal is squishy. Karma is one of the squishiest champions in the game, so there is the possibility for him to find a really good flank and just 100-0 someone, but Sentinel's doing a great job so far, just playing through this bot side prio. They knock down the first tower of the game there. They're taking away more camps, and Call Me's in trouble as he gets Nard back into the tower there by Impact. Nice sidestep, and in comes the Grand Starfall. Can they turn this around? The stun's going to land onto Impact, but the tower shots are there onto Kryra. Now comes the Realm Warp. They're going in behind him. Lions can tank this up. The minions are coming in, and they are tanking for them, so Impact, I think his time is limited in this one. Darkwings is coming up, and the rest of Sentinels are trying to get there to turn this around, but Impact's got nowhere really to run. He hops back to the blast cone, knocked out of the air like Duck Hunt, but Darkwings has arrived. Hui's here as well. Can Darkwings find a shockwave? Lions is low, may have to flash.
He kills him!
Just holds onto the flash and just dies without even the ultimate being used. And now Hui is here behind them. They're going to try to turn it around onto the Karma, but Hombach is coming in as well. Darkwings is there, still has the ultimate up and available. Flashing back, the shockwave lands on the Call Me. He survives for now. Kryra trying to turn around with a double impale across all of DSG. Spells their defeat. Darkwing survives. Sentinels wipes DSG off the map. They are up 2K and claiming yet another objective.
And it actually all started with a 0-3 Gnar because they sent 4 people and spent 30 seconds cleaning up a rather useless kill, and then it gets collapsed upon by Sentinels. Hombach is huge now. 4-0 on this Skarner, and they take even more control of the game.
Yeah, and Kryra just has not been able to find much effect in this.
Casey saw the flash, and Casey saw the Orianna ult animation, just never comes up. And then once Huhi's behind them, he just traps Calmy and Kryra under the turret, gets Calmy super low. Hambach perfectly catching both of them, just the very edge of that Skarner ultimate, and a couple of satisfying Heartsteel procs for double kill on Skarner.
And now they are on that dragon here. It's going to be a fight in the mid lane as Sajed is getting pushed back. The True Shot Barrage will not connect. Kryra going in on Hambach, and Calmy is behind him. He's trying to focus down the dragon. Will he be able to secure this? Hambach looks like he's going to be pushed back, but in comes Impact, and Impact has the Mega ready. There's the Impale. Kryra buffers the Aegis Assault pretty nicely. Castle is here as well. They're going to try to take down the Skarner. They do get the kill. It's a reset and a shutdown onto the Skarner, and DSG do claim the dragon. Darkwings arrives, though Sajed does fall, but Rahel is dead as well. Huhi, Impact, and Darkwing trying to make it happen. A big combo across multiple DSG members. Castle can do nothing. It is an ace for Sentinels. Even though they lose the dragon, they handily win the fight.
And just like that, Darkwing's Orianna thought they'd have a plan for it, have been unable to deal with the constant pressure and poke of the Ezreal Kama as well as the Orianna, but here's the fight.
Yeah, Castle goes between worlds, trying to get a big combo down onto Huhi and Darkwing. They are in a lot of trouble. Darkwing's gonna get hit by a tidal wave, and they just get blown to smithereens. Calmy pops the ghost, and he is on the chase here for Rahel. Great buffer there on the ultimate by Hambach, but Rahel is just gonna get chased down and knocked down. And now Hambach barely gets to safety. Lions can't catch him with the bubble as he burrows through the wall, but it's a big team fight win there for DSG. They are not out of it just yet.
What a massive engage there by Castle and the rest.
Really can change things, but still a nice team fight win for them on the top side. And Sajed is up 1.4K despite that laning phase going the way of Rahel and Huhi. It's Sajed who is really set up for success. Impact is actually ahead of Gold. Double AP soul laners, lots of magic damage from Nami, of course, as well. So Hambach going to be very difficult to knock through, and he's just invading here, just pushing straight in. All of DSG is around. They're going to TP in. Kryra in so much trouble, though. Flashes back into the brush, but he's got nowhere to go. The Nami tidal wave comes up to buy a little bit of time, but Hambach still at half health. Kryra not low enough to threaten a kill, and meanwhile, Sentinels are just taking the dragon. Calmy is up, pushing towards that top side as Darkwing's now close to the death cap, very far ahead here. So really, it's just a trade of HP. Rahel loses a little bit of health, but you get nothing elsewhere on the map to trade back for that dragon.
Yeah, game is definitely on the precipice of sliding all the way into Sentinel's favor. That Drake fight, okay, the one big fight that did happen was in part because DSG found a window to 5v4 while Sentinels was pushed a little bit too deep in mid lane. And speaking of getting caught in transit.
Yeah, Huhi in a lot of trouble here, but the shockwave going to get thrown down on Calmy. He has to flash back out, and the teleport's coming in here from Impact. Impact does not have the Mega, but he is going to have to flash back immediately as all of DSG is there and waiting. But look at Castle getting caught. He's in the midst of everyone. Throws down between worlds. Can't finish off Huhi. Calmy falls on the other side, and Impact's about to go Mega. Kryra will flash and try to run as Sentinels can just turn for the Baron here. It's a 5v3. It's no flash on Kryra, and I don't know how DSG can defend this.
Calmy thought he was going to be able to make a big play by catching the Karma, but he does not have the damage, and then Hambach arrived. It appears this is going to be an uncontestable Baron as Sajed is just taking the mid wave.
Yep, not going to be able to do anything about it. No flash, no vision for the jungler. You're going to have to give it up, and now Sentinels very close to taking this air. That plus Mantra E, he had Mikhail's. So it's not that easy to kill him off, you know, if you haven't actually poked off that Celestial opposition first. But look at the D-Shell's impact onto Castle. He tries to go in, gets into...
Even hearing some of the things that Huhi was saying about him in interviews during lock-in is the fact that he didn't really scrim for a whole year because he was the 6th man on an LCK roster and wasn't getting practice with either the challenger team or this team.
Kryra gonna try to turn things around, but it's an insta Mikhail's there onto Darkwings. Kryra is burst down. Rahel pops the barrier. They're gonna look for Sajed. He's sent Falcon back to the base.
It didn't look good, and that was a very bad first impression for a lot of people that are seeing him for the first time, but by the end of the
stronger. As Castle trying to defend this top side tier 2, but Sentinels pushing forward, won't be perturbed. And are going to be able to knock that down. They're trying to trade for this push on the bot side from Calmy, but it is very hard to trade against the Baron buff here, and they're just marching in now, knocking on the doors of this inhibitor tower. Castle can't really wave clear anything. Sajed is being sent over to mid lane to try to defend there. They're going to lose this top lane inhib for sure. And Sajed taking some poke makes it a little bit more difficult to actually defend even the mid lane inhibitor. Definitely don't want to lose that. So now Rise is back, and we're going to see if DSG can find their moment. Sajed falcons in, pushes Rahel back over the wall, so maybe they can try to look for something. Now completes the Void Staff, so it's something going for them, but still, just very difficult for their soul laners to get in on the back line. They're going to look now with the Realm Warp. Here comes the Grand Starfall. They're into the back line, but it's insta-CC on a Kryra. Kryra's got to retreat, but the tether route is there from Karma. The GA's popped already. Hombach flashes forward, grabs one. Castle incredibly low. He's running for it. Sajed flashes barriers. It's not enough. Rahel knocks him down. Call Me in the middle of everyone gets one back, but Sentinels wiping DSG off the map.
Hombach nearly died, but is able to survive the rest of that fight, and he keeps catching the Aurora with his Skarner ultimate in fight after fight. They're gonna look to try and end this game. They have no Ezreal, but they do have a 4v2.
Yeah, they have Castle and Lions to defend. That's all they've got. The wallop does not connect. The boulder toss misses as well. Castle, good sidesteps and movements to stay alive for now. Goes across the veil looking for a chunk, but it's only on impact. He can't even break the shield, and the towers are falling. The super minions are coming in. Castle's trying to run away from Hui, but he's getting focused down. He's gonna fall as well. Sentinels play a strong game one here in Spring Split. Hombach looking incredible on the Skarner as they knock down DSG.
They knocked him down in the lock-in playoffs, and they've knocked them down here in game one.
You cannot trade into the shield. If the shield hits you, you're screwed. If the shield doesn't hit you but hits a volley bearer, you still have to back off and not trade.
We only have 15 seconds until they can't trade anymore. How nuts, how much worse is
LCS, or scan the QR code to buy now. We got games tomorrow. We got free boba. There's free coffee. There's all kinds of stuff going on at the LCS tailgate.
Really good tailgate today. Hoping it's great tomorrow as well. I was preferential to FlyQuest coffee. It made me a nice iced latte for free.
Nice. Free is good value.
I think it's spectacular. Trying to get the all-in here on Impact.
Yeah, Impact trying to survive. The Sky Splitter barely lands. Castle could look for a flash kill. Impact was slowly getting whittled down. Has to be careful here. Doesn't want to get flashed on and killed off. Castle trying to get the push here. And he's going to look. He's going to flash for it. Impact does not react. That's a lazy recall, and I feel like that's one that everyone kind of saw coming when you're recalling there at such low health. The Nocturnal will come in from Hombach. Should be able to get one back here, but he has 100 HP, and you have no ultimate to get HP from that. The Sky Splitter is delayed. It's not like there's any sort of instant react where you can bait him in with, big shield right away.
Fine giving these grubs over. Just the Cassio and Bessa getting out of the hard part of the lane, nearly getting to Eclipse, and then the Mundo really just ranking up his ultimate more and more. DSG should be very happy with this 1-1 game state with Even Cold.
Absolutely. I mean, Call Me, we saw him forcing the Spirit Rush there from Darkwings. Hombach used his first ultimate just to be able to trade back a kill on that top. We'll see how it works out for him. Obviously, it is kind of higher risk, higher reward. It's a lot more difficult to position effectively when you are playing on hit. You have to be a lot closer to deal that damage, but Darkwings here has the Spirit Rush up and available, is getting poked down a bit as DSG trying to bully their way into the river.
All this for a Crab. Early heal by Sentinels as well.
Darkwing's going to go back in with the Spirit Rush here, looking as they go for the engage with the Nocturne ulti. Darkwing's trying to finish off Sajed. Sajed is incredibly low. He does get burst down. Maximum dosage popped by Kryra. He is fighting, but Lions is running. In comes Castle from the back line, but the ulti misses on the Hombach. The Pop Blossom is back up, and it lands onto Castle. Impact going to try to knock him down, but he's knocked out of the air by Castle and slain. Rahel flashing back, trying to get out. Hui may have to block a briefcase.
He's still got to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
Much like last game.
Sivir kind of has to kill everyone, but they're going to go in here on to Call Me. We'll see if they can be able to knock him down. The Fear Tether lands, and he is killed off there by Darkwings, and now Kryra going to be pushed back. So nice little pick off there from Hombach.
Really nice. I mean, a flashless Cassio without backup, trying to play down towards the river with Dragon up. Nice capitalization there by Hombach.
Impact was fighting pretty heavily there with Castle. Does get a nice little chunk down onto him, but now trying to pull back to that tower. Hui looking to threaten on the flank here. He's going to be coming in from the side. Rahel is behind them. It's a flanking Sivir going to get flashed on by Kryra. Rahel's in trouble. The Pop Blossom's coming down. They're going to try to turn it around on the Lions. They knock him down. They get the kill. Rahel survives. Kryra staying around though, and now Call Me going to be TPing back in. Sajed is still there. Hui can't actually land the root. Rahel trying to cut out. Kryra getting low, but doesn't have enough damage to finish him off. And on the top side, it's a 1v1 between Impact and Castle. Castle is kiting. Impact is coming. The Sky Splitter won't quite land. Takes a bite out of him.
DSG get away with it. Now have 2 Drakes, and Castle is trying to catch this wave, but there's a lot of Sentinels players here.
Here comes Hombach. The Paranoia going to get dropped. He's trying to cut out. Has so many dashes, but not quite enough. and he's gonna go down. Sentinels do eventually get him. Made him work for it. It looked like for a second he might have had a chance to get out, but there's just so much DC, so much mobility for them to chase him down, and they get the kill. Looking to try to grab first tower here as well.
And I really like what Hanbok and Darkwings are doing. They have to accelerate this game on the timers of the Ahri and Nocturne ultimates. If they find a way to find isolated targets, it's one of the most inescapable combos you can have. The triple dash from the Ahri as well as the Nocturne ultimate means you can get your kills as long as the backup isn't there, because you're so exposed diving super far in. So at the time, they did a really good job catching Call Me in mid lane and a really good job catching Castle down bot, but they have to keep that tempo up if they want a chance in this game.
Yeah, and the problem is, even though Hanbok has been very effective, 4 KP here at 16 minutes on the Nocturne, has been very, very active, like you said, playing around those timers. They're just dead even on gold, and they're down 2 dragons. And Impact trying to look for an engage here on to Call Me. Pop Blossom coming through, but the TP flank is already there. Kryra's here as well, and the Bard ulti will buy some time. Lions is here to try to back him up. Castle's in on Darkwings. Darkwings in a lot of trouble, has to flash out the safety. The Public Execution is going to connect, as well as the Chains of Corruption. The Cavalry come in from DSG and crush Sentinels in the top lane.
DSG completely collapsed. They're likely to lose this mid turret as well, though. It's a race to see how much they can get done with this Rift Herald. First turret has already gone over on the side of Sentinels. This is weird. It's like Sentinels actually played a little too fast, because this was a fight with no Nocturne ultimate. So they tried to make a fast play with the Nico, end up getting completely annihilated once Kryra arrived.
Hanbok is trying to position for a potential ult here, but there's still backup there for DSG. They have 4 members in the area. TP going to be coming in here, though, from Darkwings. They want to try to go for the long chase, but Darkwing is going to have to immediately pop the ulti, and look at that! Sajed gets deleted from the map. Impact arrives with a teleport as well. They're going to try to chase down Castle. They're going to get him, too. A couple kills going back the way of Sentinels.
My turn now, says Hanbok and Darkwings, as the teleport ends up being the perfect bait to get Hanbok in. They just made Sajed completely disappear right there. So Hanbok 4-0-2 now, needs to completely play around this ultimate cooldown. I think in extended 5v5 fights, no chance. But if they can keep this game messy, they'll have a window to victory.
I mean, that damage on Sajed was pretty surprising. I was seeing, okay, he's got Cleanse, he's got Flash.
Get punished. Grouping up is great against the Ahri Nocturne, so DSG need to make sure no one can get isolated by the Ahri Nocturne combo.
Hui was trying to look for a flank there, but was going to be marked by Castle. They're going for the engage. Paranoia popped here. Darkwings is on the flank. Can he find an angle? He just can't really find anything to go in. Does land a charm, though, and they are able to try to finish off the drive. Definitely does, but so far, DSG in full control, and especially after taking that last dragon, going to be feeling really good. They're going to go for an engage here over on a Castle. Castle trying to cut out, does flash, but will it be back to safety? Hanbok is coming in. Lions looking for the binding over the wall. Can't quite get it. The Public Execution will not buy enough time, and the Pop Blossom on the side connects in onto Sajed. There's the cleanse, but it doesn't even matter. He is knocked down in a hurry. Rahel ricocheting through the team as Call Me trying to turn around on the Impact. Darkwings looks for the charm. It's going to be sidestepped, though. The Petrifying Gaze does not connect onto anyone's spell shield there on the Casio Q, but Rahel has to turn, has to fight. The binding from Lions across both members is buying a lot of time. Hanbok is in the back line, but Call Me cannot fall. Rahel flashes in, but now he's on top of Kryra. Kryra's going to have to hit the blast, going to get out of there. Lions popping the magical journey, looking to get out. Rahel fighting on the side with Kryra. Rahel needs a spell shield. He doesn't have it. Kryra flashes in, knocks him upside the head, takes him out, and there's the reaction from Golden Glue. He thought that fight was theirs, and now Darkwings might get chased down here as well. Kryra's got so much move speed.
Oh, the Baron!
Hits the Baron to take him out, but it's an execute as a result.
Oh my God, he killed him by accident. Is he still looking for him? He doesn't necessarily. Does he even see the call out that he was killed by a minion?
I think he knows he's killed, but the question is, can they do Baron, right? Like, you would have got the kill eventually, but this does speed it up. And now, are they going to go for it?
This game is so crazy. No time to breathe. It looks like Kryra is going to heal up a little bit. Everyone trying to get it. Rahel still dead. Darkwing doesn't have TP, so I think DSG can just burst this down.
I absolutely think so. Cassio and on-hit Varus, they shred this thing, so that Baron is gone. And it gives them enough time to recall and to head out and
chance to move through that behemoth of a Mundo. Still no heal cut, though. Kryra is a beast.
They're just pushing out the side lanes here, knocking down tower after tower.
Castle
is unanswered. Sentinels just rush over to try to go for this dragon. The question is, can DSG get there in time?
Late.
It's not dying that fast, but it is now down to about 2,500 HP. They should be able to finish it off. The question is, can they escape afterwards? They're going to try to turn it around here onto Call Me. Rahel with a great sidestep avoids it, and the Pop Blossom comes in, and they are getting destroyed. DSG pile into the fight, but it's too little too late. Kryra trying to stay alive here with the maximum dosage, but Darkwings is looking for more. He hits the charm on the Lions, but it's a beautiful self-McHale's as Lions runs for the hills. Will survive, but it's only him and Castle.
Of a game. We haven't even had time for a replay in the last 4 minutes, and they are now strong, pushing both mid and bot lane by taking the Baron buff off of nearly everyone.
It looked like that was going to be the fight that ends the game for DSG, that gets them soul, that should have set them up, but this flank from Huhi, the Pop Blossom was short off. Any small damage now with that Bloodthirster complete.
I hope he has the Empowered Recall. Okay, he's actually just going to teleport in right away for this flank. They're going.
Yeah, they're going deep here. The Chains of Corruption do connect, but in onto Sajed. They're immediately coming. The Pop Blossom doesn't connect. Look at the Seekers to buy some time, but on the other side, Impact and Rahel trying to deal the damage. Castle comes in. He knocks down one. Rahel's in the middle of everyone. Rahel, that is not where you want to be. He stands, he fights, but he falls. And the cause of death is Blood Force Trauma as Impact is fallen as well. He's got to run for the hills. Hambach and Impact are the only ones surviving. Hambach surely can't get out of this one. Impact has run for the hills and does survive for now. Hambach not so lucky though. DSG win the fight. It's a scrappy one, but at the end of the day, it's 4 for 2.
Really interesting engage right there. I almost feel like Sentinels was trying to lull DSG into the false sense of security because they kind of did the teleport on the Nocturne. So when you see Ari shown on that top turret, you buy the Bard ultimate, but it gives him that fraction of a second to move away during the Hambach CC, and it just ends up giving them the soul as well as the Baron. So a little bit of Exodia going on.
Infernal Soul not going to help with the defenses, but Huhi, I think he's going to have to find a pretty
There's a fight
engage.
coming. Call Me is isolated, so it's a 5v4 chance if Sentinels want it.
Yeah, Darkwings is spotted out on the ward. He is very deep behind them, and he is just going to cut the wave. And this is pretty smart from him, but the question is, can DSG push him back and stop this? They want to Baron buff up that wave, but on top lane, they're looking for an angle onto Call Me, who's pushing forward. This is a big wave there, and Rahel needs to get over there to try to clear that out if they want to defend topside, but not going to be able to do it for now.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't pull the trigger. I'm actually surprised that DSG didn't just 5-man against Nocturne Ari and instead try to 4-1. That's really risky, even if they're able to get a lot of turret damage. Lions trying to babysit Call Me, but I feel like the Nocturne Ari could probably get one of them. They're just hesitant to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I guess they're just worried about Lions potentially muting the engage, but here goes now. They're going to go in onto Sajed. Sajed trying to survive as long as he can. Pops the Zonias here as Kryra in the middle of everyone. Call Me flashes forward, hits the Petrifying Gaze, and down goes the Sivir. Pop Blossom in the backline, but does it even matter? They don't have the damage to get the job done. Kryra is unstoppable with Castle pushing forward in this fight, looking for Impact. He's the next target on the list, and Impact is standing, is fighting, is surviving as long as he possibly can, but he's got nowhere to go. Huhi trying to cut the wave, but he can't get that done. DSG do lose Sajed, but they take out the Sivir early and they win the fight.
Infernal Soul and Baron doing a lot of heavy lifting there with both 80 carries getting burst down. I feel like DSG was kind of trying to bait the engage with their spread out positioning. Ends up working out. They break the middle inhibitor. They go for more.
The public execution comes in. Darkwing's on the run with the Spirit Rush, trying to get back to the base to heal back up. Hambach and Huhi keep him alive for now, and that may signal DSG to just back up, but the Paranoia is here. They're going to go in on Castle, but that is a tanky top laner, and he realizes, I do not win this one. You've lost the tower in mid lane, you've lost the tower in top lane. Gets a lot more hard, but of course Castle has to respect the fact that it might not be a 1v1. Hambach can fly in the beginning of the mid lane. It didn't go very far, so that is down, but he does have the TP shield, and it does last quite a long time. So that is up and available. Kryra just zoning them away, stepping in their face, daring them to try to engage onto the Mundo, and Rahel trying to get control of this wave and look for a push. Hambach's on the side, but Sajed now is just going to be soloing the Elder.
Yeah, and they don't have vision of it currently, so Hambach would love to get something over that wall, but has no way of getting vision.
Yeah, it is going down very slow. Online going to be popped there by Rahel. The charm lands on the Castle, but it doesn't do too much to him. Rahel can't really find a way in. It's just so difficult for him to step forward and auto attack without being in range of the rest of the damage. And Rahel has eaten some poke from these briefcases. Sky Splitter comes down to be able to spot them out. Darkwing's going to be TPing back from base now here. The Bard ultimate not going to connect as they are going to pop the Paranoia. Will they go in for the engage? Darkwings has Castle low. They're trying to burst down Kryra. They can't quite do it as maximum dosage has been popped, and Kryra is healing right back up. But they're going to try to kite it out. It's a trade now of the max dosage for the Spirit Rush, but the Ahri without an ultimate is not going to have a lot of power.
I don't really feel like Sentinels has a way back in. Nocturne Ultimate is going to take so long, but that Elder is still very tanky, so Sentinels have to brute force their way through.
The Castle's looking for a wraparound here. Impact has joined back from base, TPing back in. One briefcase does about 20% of the health there of Rahel, who's trying to step forward, trying to look for this fight. On the side, Castle looking for an engage. Lion trying to find an angle for a binding. Darkwing's in a lot of trouble. Has to flash back from the public execution. There's a charm, but it's a flash forward from Castle. He's gone already. Humbug on the side is getting destroyed. Impact is trying to tank it up. The Bomb Blossom comes through, but it just doesn't even matter because Rahel is already gone. DSG are winning the fight. It feels like DSG have finally been able to take over. It's a double kill there for Sajed as he gets some revenge after a tough game. DSG gonna take us to a game number 3.
Look at how much Heartsteel health Kryra accumulated throughout this game. An absolute force on this Mundo, could not be taken down, and gotta shout out Call Me for tagging Rahel again with the Petrifying Gaze as DSG even the series.
So tough for Rahel to really find an angle in this fight, and Castle being able to get in the backline, takes down the Ahri. DSG not going down without a fight.
Always been really potent combos. And it's
Vayne.
Oh my god.
Okay, well this is crazy.
Oh
I mean,
my god.
Vayne in some ways can survive, but the problem is there's so much point and click, and Rakanal is dead even between these two teams as Kryra comes through, and we'll be able to delay the recall there of Darkwings, but they're going to look for a potential little engage as Hambach goes forward. But down comes the Galio now, and Kryra's just going to flash on a Darkwings. In comes Call Me with the Soul Unbound, looking to get some damage down. Impact faster on the roam, flashes forward with the Justice Punch. There is the taunt. Castle flashing it as well. Hambach falls for first blood. Kryra's getting some healing down. Impact has no damage. DSG out to a 2-0 lead.
It's been a while since we've seen a first crab flip a game, but we may have just seen it again. Full stack Conqueror on the Xin, Triumph proc after another, stays alive, and the bot lane's all in at the same time.
So Jed procs another Silver Bolts there. Rahel incredibly low, even through the barrier. Had the condemn into the wall, had the lethal tempo stack. He flashes in, great flash back from Rahel, or he would have been dead to rights. Lions wanted the kill. Rahel equal to the task. Still, good job by DSG being able to get this aggressive move because they were actually down quite a bit in farm,
I mean,
especially once this wave is gone.
There's no barrier,
They're going to try to look for it. He has the angle for the condemn. He gets him into the wall. He gets the kill in the 2v2, and now Hui's in a lot of trouble as well. It's a double for the Vayne. You lose to Alistar.
From the Xin, and ends up picking up the second kill.
We're back to live. Kryra here fighting again. Smolder's going to get knocked up and might just be getting knocked down. Kryra grabs a kill.
Doesn't have a good way of avoiding Sajed. Kind of faking that he's recalled right now, actually. He's been in the bush for about 10 seconds as DSG continues to punish the Soul Lanes.
Call Me looking for this all in here. Darkwings has no flash. The Soul Unbound comes through. The knockup does connect. Mom comes down for a heal, but Kryra looking for a play on the bot side as Call Me claims.
Not to mention, they have full information because of how aggressive Kryra's been playing. He's been fully evading the bot jungle. There was no threat of Hambach ganking there on Vi.
You have early attack speed, early Vamp Scepter. All of a sudden, you can't really punish him anymore. And then he's the one threatening you for all-ins, just like he did there. His Lion's going to be going up to the top side. He has the Hex Flash. I don't even think he needs to use it. Impact's just going to get comboed. He's going to tank it up. Castle is going to be able to grab the kill. Style points with the equalizer. Call Me will get shut down by Hambach. A bit frustrated, obviously. Darkwings didn't get the kill, excuse me.
Yeah.
The fact that Vi picked it up, you can see he's a little bit frustrated, even though they were able to knock down Call Me. Knows he's not in the easiest spot, and when you fall behind in these kind of matchups, you know, he just constantly is going to threaten the all-in. Are now level 6, and Hambach has his ulti back up and available, going to face check Kryra, but they could actually look to turn on him. Kryra going to go for the engage, flash forward there from Lions, but the TP is coming in immediately from Call Me. Smolder cannot stop that TP, so here's the Yone, and Sentinels are in trouble. Sajed gets another kill. The second one goes to Kryra.
Close if they let the game go too late, but right now they're in a perfect position.
Yep, they're in a great spot here as Call Me can't quite find Darkwings with the knockup, so we'll just have to settle for that dragon that they're grabbing. Lions laying a trap there for who he is. Sajed potentially going to look for the engage.
Won the whole map by that point, and then it makes Sentinels have to make these funny plays to try and get back in it.
Call Me going to pop the ulti, just try to run away, but it's blocked there by Hambach, and that is more than enough CC to knock down the Yone.
looking for Call Me. Sneakily jumps over the wall. Doesn't look like he's on vision.
Yeah, and he is going to be getting the bad news here, but
Can they
Darkwings
kill
has
him?
pushed back so far. I don't know if he's even going to be able to need to use his flash here, but now in comes Hui and Rahel. Lions here to cover. Flash force there by Call Me, but that is 4 members bot for an HP disadvantage on the trade, and a trade of flashes.
And this gives such a long turn for DSG. What are they going to do with it? Vayne free hitting the turret in mid. Kryra looking to invade jungle camps and lines, just wasting even more time.
That's going to be the first tower of the game, going over to the Vayne, who's going to be able to pick up all of this gold as Kryra even takes away the Gromp. Sentinels sent so many members down there. Call Me's back to full HP. Well, Darkwings has to go back to base. And look at that gold injection there for Sajed, who was already ahead.
They're not going to waste their push to go chase him, and they're still trying to keep the pressure up in this bottom lane. Kryra just marking the Vi.
Lions just flashes over the engage. In comes the equalizer, but now comes the hero's entrance. Call Me trying to chase Hanbok on the side, but it's Rahel who's in more trouble as Kryra goes in for the engage. Call Me is back. The knockup is there. Rahel flashes. He heals. He barely survives for now. Impact gonna have to flash back here as well. Sajed gonna pop the final hour, tumbling forward, looking for more. Can he find the angle to try to get Rahel? He knocks him down. Even with the
by Castle, DSG just will naturally start this Drake. They can probably even babysit this wave and pick up the bottom turret. No way Sentinels is matching this play. You can see Unara Vi on the top side of the jungle, just trying to scrounge up whatever farm they can. But for a game 1 and 2 that were very close, this game 3 is definitely the most one-sided.
Yeah, it is extremely one-sided. And even though
they being 4-0 has to kind of blow. It's blowing my mind a little bit that Rahel is 2.2 thousand gold down against the
Kryra hid that whole time. They're going to try to look for a setup on the dive, but now he reveals himself. The equalizer was used defensively, and Impact pushed back. That was a good job by Kryra. He was just kind of dancing in and out of the brush as he stepped forward to hide that he was around. Doesn't end up amounting to too much, but still a nice play. I feel like Kryra has just been everywhere he needs to be this entire game.
He really has, taking the end of that Mundo game as Sajed has barrier, but
no flash. He does have a great condemn back onto Hui, but it just doesn't even matter. Exhausted, charmed. Team was built around him. You know, when I actually talked to DSG, that was the intended starter, of course, as they're going to look for an engage here onto Hanbok, who is getting focused down. The Crescent Guard is popped, and Call Me claims the kill. The TP comes in, and that means there is mid, Smolder's bot. You have no damage, and Impact maybe can't even push out the top wave. Is going to be tough. Is going to be pushed back here by Lions, and now the ulti has to be popped defensively there from Hui. He's trying to keep his top laner alive. Can't even do it. They kill your top laner who's pushing out the lane as they're taking Baron. It's a 6K gold lead at 21 minutes, and DSG have just been getting better every single game.
Yeah, that was just rude. What DSG did, that whole sequence was just rude. You think you have your Krugs, you don't have your Krugs. We're taking Baron, you think you can get waves? Those are our waves. Reverse their trajectory from the end of the lock-in tournament where they lost consecutively to Blabber, and Inspired. So really interesting first matchup tomorrow, as DSG is really just dotting their I's, crossing their T's, and trying to end this series.
Yep, Castle pushing back Hanbok and Impact. Chunk, you're looking across the board at the item completions. It's so much better over on the side of DSG.
Part of that is because the lanes have been so well played, because Kryra has just been really effective at getting deep vision, and they're finding so many opportunities to play around this Yone, right? It's tricky when everyone's having these amazing games.
As DSG have the Baron, have the Soul, it was uncontested as expected. And Sentinel's just going to pray that the game can get delayed and delayed and delayed, and that maybe this double 80 carry comp can carry.
And so really looking forward to seeing how these teams develop throughout the split, because when I'm looking at the power rankings, I do still see C9, Lion as those top teams with probably TL based off of how dominant they are in scrims. But then I feel like everyone else can actually beat everyone else. So yeah. Really looking forward to seeing those matchups throughout the rest of the split.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, even TL obviously looked very beatable in the regular season. Yes, they have a lot of talent. They have an incredible amount of talent on the team that is clearly intentional
on purpose.
And clearly very effective. And now with that Baron buff, they're pushing 4 members top. The equalizers are going to get dropped just to try to push them back here. Mum comes out over the top and is going to chunk them down. Could look for potential engage as Lions is getting pretty low. Had to pop the Unbreakable. He's down about 30% HP, so likely has to reset.
Yeah, no ult does have his summoner heal, so he's hoping if he finds the right engage, but we know the only thing that can go wrong here is they lose a big team fight and give up all their bounties. I think they're just hoping to break these inhibitor turrets down so that with the Elder they can maybe finish.
TP coming back in here from Castle, who does have that Zonia's completed. Look at the damage on the Hawk. He is just getting cooked. And now on the side, you can see Calmy pushing Darkwing's back. It looks like that top lane inhibitor tower is pretty much guaranteed to fall on this wave. Hombok's going back to base to heal up, as is Darkwing. So they're going to have to give up the double inhibitor as Calmy's coming in through that mid lane, looking to knock that one down as well. And will they go for the final engage here? Kryra goes forward with the Crescent Guard. Everyone on Darkwings this time is just running for the hills here. Darkwing's incredibly low, does get back into the fountain. Sentinels were hurting there. They do survive, but it's double inhibit. The Nexus tower's under fire.
Kryra has burned his ultimate, does have GA. They can't break any of the Nexus turrets, but I think mission accomplished here. Get the double inhib down, potentially reset, but if they can win the game with a re-engage, I'm sure they'd take it.
Like they will just back off, go for the recalls. TP coming back in here from Calmy as he spends up his gold once again.
Yeah, right now, if they just start the Elder, the super minions as well as the Elder will sync up fairly well, so Sentinels needs to use this window to try and find a fight.
Oh, Kryra's fighting on the side, but could he be in trouble? Lions coming in for an engage over the top, but there, again, is the equalizer in the back line. Hombok does fall and is going to try to stand and fight. Calmy going to the back line looking for more. He gets a kill in the middle of 4, woo! And now Sajet is unleashed. It is the final hour for Sentinels. DSG pushing down mid lane. Kryra fighting here against Darkwings, and he's going to win that fight as well. The Crescent Guard cuts him in half. He's a Dragon Slayer as DSG march on the Nexus, claim the game win, claim the series win, and take down Sentinels in a dominant game number 3.
Really great performance by DSG to close out the day. Kryra deathless, Castle deathless. They kind of won this game in 4 minutes, and then the next